Shalom everyone, welcome to my YouTube page. I've been wanting to do this for so long. Back in 2019 when I started this page, I posted a lot about Jewish content, but it was mainly focused on Instagram. And I'm very fortunate that people want to listen to me longer. You know, back in 2019 when I started, it was a lot of Jewish content, but challah. And I thought, you know what, there's not many long form content of Jewish in Israel. There are, but I'm not someone who wants to be political. I just want to enjoy our traditions and tell you what I think about, like rating the worst challah to the best challah from different countries, from reacting to Jewish videos, to inspiring, to giving my opinion about something, but not about the war, because I don't want to talk about that. I think just want to be open, honest, and just have a chat and just have a good time. And that's why I hope this page helps out. And so hopefully you can just chill, watch, whilst eating challah, whilst having breakfast, whilst on a walk, I don't know. And I want to do the first 10 to 20, maybe the first 50 videos. I'm not expecting many views, but maybe if I do this like 100 or 200, then I hope I can inspire you, just a bit more proud, or just hopefully entertainment, and share a bit more positivity. So today we're going to be going over me reacting over Jewish foods, which is actually quite interesting because when I recorded it, most of the foods I had no clue what they were. So it was actually really interesting. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Shalom everyone. I think I found it. I can hear myself right now, but we're going to be doing live reactions to videos. I've got to saw this because I can hear my voice right now, but I thought I'll do some long form content. I'm very excited to do this and just kind of start this and see how it gets on. You know, I don't think the quality is like high right now, but I know I just want to create more long form content because I record so much and I do this stuff myself. I just check out these videos all the time. I was like, let me react to it. So today we're reacting to a Jewish food video, which is classic. I don't think many people will react to Jewish food videos, but here we are. Anyway, it may not even work because it may not even be right, but let's get it done.
Jewish food is so much more than just latkes, gefilte fish, and matzo ball soup. Here's the thing. Jews hail from all over. North Africa, all over the Middle East, Europe, South America, you name it. So Jewish food isn't just what your bubby made.
Firstly, before we get into this, if there's anything we should do reactions, let me know, because this is new to me. This is learning as well. This is not just me knowing everything about Judaism. I think this is an opportunity for me to improve my knowledge in Judaism. I think taking on that journey with you is quite nice, because not everything here I'm going to know. Like you think, oh, you're Jewish, you know everything about Jewish foods, or you know about Jewish life and stuff. No, but this is really an opportunity to kind of like to develop, which is part of my journey.
It's vibrant and versatile, colorful and cool, underrated, and, for too many people, virtually unexplored. Throughout
I had no clue what that last one was.
history, poor Jewish communities had to get creative when it came to food. They also adapted local delicacies to adhere to kosher dietary laws. They made dishes specific to Jewish holidays. Some of these often forgotten traditions live on today, if you know where to look. Today, we're going down the rabbit hole of obscure Jewish food. Some you might be into, some maybe not so much. But everything's worth trying at least once, right? So
I don't know how to pronounce any of them apart from shakshuka. What the flip was that? Krabbies. Klib ennies. This is the time to say that I'm dyslexic, so this is going to be
But everything's worth trying at least once, right? So hold on to your plates and let's get started.
Yeah, they seem really good. I follow them on Instagram for a while. This video is like 5 years old, but we have so much to react. So let's get it.
First, let's talk about pacha. The name comes from the
Pacha?
Turkish words for leg soup. In the 14th century, Turkish peasants made a hot soup dish with lamb's feet, one of the cheapest parts of the animal. Slowly, the dish spread throughout Central and Eastern Europe, where poor Ashkenazi Jewish communities picked it up. Now, when you're poor, you've got to be resourceful. So, these Ashkenazi communities adapted the leg soup and made it their own. They opted for calves' feet and often discarded part of the animal and preferred the cool jellied dish to the
calves. Wow. I mean, that's a calf foot jelly. How many people even knew this?
hot soup. In their minds, these Ashkenazi Jewish peasants turned the cheapest part of the animal into a delicacy. In the early 20th century, Jewish German immigrants brought the dish to the United States, and it was well received by a generation of American Jews. It was a mainstay at weddings. On Sabbath mornings, families enjoyed pacha with chopped eggs. However,
To be fair, that does look really nice, but now I know it's calf. Great amount of protein.
pacha didn't have the staying power of Ashkenazi classics like gefilte fish and matzo ball soup. Today, it's hard to find in the States, only appearing on a handful of deli menus, like the New York City institution 2nd Avenue Deli. Let's head over to Italy, where Jewish communities spanning back over 2,000 years contributed to the nation's world-famous culinary style. Now, Jews have lived in the region of present-day Italy dating back to the Roman Empire. And from the 15th century to the mid-19th century, Italy was one of the only places in Europe Jews weren't kicked out of, but they were.
This isn't just food review. We're now learning. This is beautiful.
Were confined to ghettos. Again, like we talked about with pacha, poverty breeds resourcefulness. Italian Jews used what they had, including discarded vegetables and small, bony fish, to create delicacies. Italian Jews introduced things like fried anchovies and fish soups to non-Jewish Italians. Generally, non-Jewish Italians didn't like eggplant,
Sabich. I'm sorry, non-Jewish Italians. You would not like Israel because eggplant and sabich is everywhere.
fennel, capers, and onions, to name a few. So, they gave their Jewish neighbors their unwanted scraps, who went on and created gold. They pioneered Italian dishes such as caponata, a Sicilian cooked vegetable salad, and fennel gratin, which is baked and breaded fennel, that are staples of Italian food to this day. Due to the laws of kashrut, Italian Jews weren't able to enjoy the many fine cured pork meats many Italians loved, such as prosciutto. So, Italian Jewish communities raised geese, their kosher pig, if you will, to produce the kosher equivalent of porky products like salami and sausage, as well as a kosher alternative to pork prosciutto. In Italian, this goose leg prosciutto is called prosciutto d'oca. Though the numbers are dwindling, some 28.
Why is this all fully new information and I've never even heard about this until today? I know of gefilte, but I would have thought surely this would have come up in my lessons over the last 10 years.
8,000 Jews still live in Italy, where you can find this Jewish take on prosciutto
That's a lot less now since 5 years.
in certain areas, particularly in Friuli, in the far northeast corner of the country. How about something sweet? For that, let's leave Italy and travel across the world to India. I've got to tell you about Jewish puri, a sweet pastry that India's Mumbai Jewish community makes once a year to break the fast after Yom Kippur. This puri is a layered, deep-fried, crescent-shaped pastry filled with cardamom.
This looks unbelievable. And it's pistachio.
Pistachios, a variety of other nuts, and sweetened semolina.
Oh.
India's Jews make their sweet puri on Yom Kippur with
I have to fast in India now. Yom Kippur 2026. India, here we go.
7 layers, as 7 is a significant number in Judaism, referencing the creation story of Genesis. The majority of India's Jews, over 70,000 in fact, have made Aliyah and now make up about 1% of Israel's total population. About 3,500 remain in the Mumbai area, but Puri unites them all every October when Yom Kippur hits. Jews all over the world are big on stews, especially on the Sabbath. With stew, you can prep everything on Friday, then let it cook overnight. So you have your midday meal on Saturday.
Now, I finally feel like I can talk because the last few foods I've not been able to know. The best thing is when my brother or mother is making a stew, a tuna, whatever, and you walk down Saturday morning and you smell it. Hopefully one day I can have a kid and they can experience that. That'd be unbelievable.
Good to go. That way, you can avoid actually cooking on the Sabbath, a big no-no in Jewish law. Ashkenazi Jews immediately think of cholent, the traditional heavy stew made with beans, barley, potatoes, and meat, as well as its Sephardic cousin chamin.
This unbelievable. Had no clue we're going to learn about this, but chullim, one fun fact, or a little learning lesson, don't have chullim if you are training for marathons. Have it all the time, but if you're doing marathons, beans, no more comment.
The word cholent comes from the medieval French words chaud, meaning hot, and long, meaning slow, in reference to the long, slow cooking. And chamin comes from the Hebrew word for hot. But Jews from all over the world are fans of long, slow cooking on Shabbat. Take, for instance, doro wat, a chicken stew studded with hard-boiled eggs that Ethiopian Jews traditionally eat on the Sabbath. Now, doro wat is a classic Ethiopian dish.
Oh my gosh,
so what makes it Jewish?
That looks unbelievable, and I need to try doro wat.
Well, first of all, they adapted the recipe to avoid using ingredients that would break certain kashrut laws. And like their Ashkenazi cholent-making counterparts, Ethiopian Jews would prepare doro wat before sundown on Fridays. Typically, they'd bury the pots underground once the stew was finished to keep it warm. Also, to signal a departure from the rest of the week, on the Sabbath, Ethiopian Jews trade in their injera, a spongy, fermented teff flour bread typical in
Ethiopia. There's actually, oh my gosh, I went to Tel Aviv last month and I literally stayed in Airbnb next to an Ethiopian restaurant. I should go there next time.
Dining for something called dabo, a tender, yeast-risen wheat loaf that gets baked in a round pan, to eat with their doro wat. In Israel, there are over 120,000 Ethiopian Jews, the vast majority of the Ethiopian Jewish community. Meanwhile, Iraqi Jews are known for something called tibit, their take on Sabbath stew. Like doro wat, tibit is much lighter than Ashkenazi cholent. Tibit is prepared with chicken and rice that's seasoned with turmeric, cardamom, cloves, and cinnamon. It's all simmered overnight on Friday, and the eggs are placed on top of the rice and browned in time for Sabbath brunch.
Why have I not had this? That is perfect for me. Eggs, rice, chicken, a bit of herbs. I need to speak to my Jewish mother. We're making this.
The best part? The cooking process leaves a crispy bottom layer of rice called chikake, similar to Iranian tadig, and everyone, especially kids, would fight over the chikake. Today, there are nearly 500,000 Iraqi Jews living in Israel, and their cuisine is celebrated far and wide. It's important to note that when we're talking about Jewish food, we're often talking about borrowing. Jews from all...
And I'm pausing a bit. What I find quite interesting is we see Tel Aviv, we see Jerusalem, and we see just classic restaurants like takeaway, burger, pizza, all that stuff. You know, we see so many shawarma shops. I would love to see more of these, like just common. Like if there was a fast food Ethiopian dish, Iraqi dish. Now, maybe that's just not what people want, but this food looks unbelievable.
All over the world didn't always invent something from scratch. Oftentimes, Jewish food is the result of adapting local recipes. That could have been because of poverty, persecution, kashrut laws, holiday, or a variety of reasons. All of that also makes it hard to define Jewish food at times. But playing that role of adapter and borrower throughout history has given Jews of today a rich, complicated, and delicious food culture to chew on, literally. It's what makes Jewish food, however you define it, so interesting, so vibrant, so relevant, and memorable. Why not try as many of these foods as you can? We've got you covered and included links to recipes for all these dishes below.
Oh, okay. That's it. Cool. Usually this is where I would go somewhere and speak. But I haven't done YouTube videos before. Well, look, that was cool. I don't know how to intro to a last video, but thank you for joining. I will do more videos like this. This is so uncomfortable, but I hope in 5 months' time, I was going to say 5 years, I'm going to have a bit more of an organisation. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and I'm going to get better, I promise.